Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Year 9 Girls class. We are having our debate lesson with the motion, is social media good or bad? And here is how our debate will go. We've got 3 rounds. Round 1, we have 4 speakers coming from each group with the introduction, 16 minutes in total. Round 2 will be the rebuttal, 2 speakers per group, 10 minutes. And the last round, round number 3 is conclusion with the best speakers, 2 minutes each. So we'll also have our official timer and our official scorer, Kisra. Okay, now, let's start with speaker number 1, please. Speaker number 1, proposition. Where's our proposition team? Okay. So proposition starts, followed by opposition. Go.
Okay, so I'm going to be talking about how social media helps us economically. So according to adweek.com, as today's customer spends up to 9 hours per day online, social media is proven to be the most effective way for businesses to reach new audiences on a global scale. This shows us that because the consumers are spending so much time online, advertising on social media can help spread and promote your company, which can increase the economy and be beneficial to whatever they are doing.
Opposition.
Social media addiction, according to science.com, social media addiction is a real phenomenon. As more people carry around smartphones and other devices wherever they go, it becomes harder to escape the internet, and people increasingly spend their online time on social media sites such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Proposition.
Okay, so scientists are increasingly embracing social media in their professional lives. Here we look at different, and then also 93% of adults on Facebook use it to connect with family members, 91% use it to connect with current friends, and 87% use it to connect with friends from the past. 72% of all teens connect with friends via social media. 83% of these teens report that social media helps them feel more connected to the world.
Opposition.
Okay, so since we're talking about the negative effects of social media, one of them is fear of missing out, which in short is FOMO. FOMO is a phenomenon that was one of the same time as Facebook. So when Facebook was created, it intentionally created FOMO, which is the fear of missing out, which means that even if you're if your friend is at like a party or having fun or something, and you see pictures of them, you would have this anxiety that why am I not there, why am I not seeing this, and why am I not being a part of this. That can lead to different types of negative things like anxiety, depression, and so on.
Okay, thank you so much. Judges, I've got my winner, or I want to give the points, but I want to listen to you and validate if they deserve it. Anybody?
Sir, I feel like Sarah and Ming had a good point. They had a strong opinion about it, and the information that they use are scientifically proven as well. So it makes their point more legitimate and more convincing.
Anybody else from the judges table who wants to add on to it? Tanushri?
I think I can agree on pros because they have a good point of view.
Mm-hmm.
From my side, I would be agreeing with pros rather than cons.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, Kizra, 1 point for Hanin and 1 point for Sarah. Speaker number 2, please. We'll start with the proposition.
So I'm going to speak about social media, how it helps you express yourself. Social media helps you express yourself in many different ways
and in ways that you can't do face to face. It also helps you to boost your confidence. Although it causes some self-esteem issues, it also acts as a way to find out who you are and get inspired and motivated to achieve your goals.
Opposition?
Okay, so as what Tiara said, there's a lot of things you can do face to face that is not face to face in social media, which is also bullying. You can be a jerk on sites like Reddit, maybe even Facebook, and not even know about it. While social media made making friends easier, it also made it easier for predators to find victims. The anonymity that social media networks provide can be used by perpetrators to gain people's trust and terrorize them in front of their peers.
Proposition?
Social media is a good way to help you express yourself in different ways. And as you said, predators online, I feel like there can be predators in daily life, not only online. So we have to be aware on social media and in your life. It is estimated that 68% of Americans get their news from social media. Social media spreads information faster than any other media. 78.5% of traditional media reporters pulled out social media to check for breaking news. Social media allows people to improve their relationship, to improve their relationship and making friends and socializing. Over here, this point mainly speaks about how you're opening up to people, and you can also vent out things anonymously, which makes it way better for you, where you can let your heart out and not let anyone know who you are or hurt you.
Opposition?
Heavy social media use can possibly lead to depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem. It can prevent the development of some social and direct communication skills. Some inappropriate posts may hurt job opportunities down the line.
Okay, thank you so much. Judges, decision.
Sir, I feel like
It should be the group's decision, not only your decision.
we feel like
Have you discussed it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So we feel like Khadija has a good point. She has a strong opinion on how it can help. Social media can help us, and she has a base point which she expanded on. I also feel like Kiara had a good motive behind her idea, and I feel like if she could have said more about it, it would have been like the perfect statement.
So for you, it's Khadija and Tiara.
Kiara, yes.
Okay. Girls, anybody else's opinion? Tanushri?
I think Khatija has a good statement, and hence I hope she goes with that statement on, and she becomes a great leader in
Okay.
this.
Thank you. So, final decision. 1 point Khadija, 1 point Tiara. Speaker number 3. Let's start with the proposition team. Proposition. Who wants to start? We start with the proposition team.
Traditionally, you wanted to meet a politician or a candidate who wanted to become a president or something, you would go there, but most people can't go there, so they do it off the internet. This shows us that social media can be more interactive with our country and know what's going on where we live, especially for non-politics is not taken seriously at all.
Opposition.
Nice idea. So, for some people, social media is basically everything. They're always texting. They always have their notifications on. Example, for some people, if they just leave for a few minutes, it can cause severe anxiety. They can stress out. They become aggressive with family members, and they lose interest in the outside world. Just basically always locked on texting. And if they just leave, they're going to go insane because they missed out on the text or so.
Okay. Proposition.
Social media has spread awareness for global warming, which has made a difference to betterment of the environment. Social media sites help students do better at school. 59% of students will access the internet report that they use social media to discuss educational topics, and 50% use the site to talk about school assignments. A middle school in Portland, Oregon, introduced a social media program to engage students. Grades went up by 50%.
Thank you. And opposition.
It's proven that more than 500 predators online every day, kids to 12 to 15 years old, are being groundedly victim of sexual abuse or anything, like finding their information and stuff. And in our school, there is a lot of bullying happening, and there's a story of a new girl in one of our classes bullied because of social media. Bullies made her look fat and look like she's getting pregnant to get rid of depression. She went out of her old school to join the new school to get a new fresh start.
Okay,
Which still didn't really work, but she's still having anxiety and she's getting like all of her memories from her old school, so it's not really working.
Okay, thank you. Now, judges.
The first point I feel, we feel that Sana deserves it because she has a great point that social media can not only help us give information out like global warming, and it can cause awareness, and we can start campaigns by doing that, and it can ultimately help us in our life.
Anything else? Anybody else? Okay. Now, actually, all the points are quite wonderful, and I'd like to commend everybody. However, we need to give 1 point to the best, the one that really deserves it. And I think focusing on the benefits of social media, using social media for education, she was able to really give a good point, and that is Sana. 1 point for Sana. Speaker number 4. We are with speaker number 4 now. Okay, let's start with proposition. Proposition.
Social media increases teen awareness. According to Forbes.com, teens want to be aware and informed about things in the world just as much as adults. Okay, using social media allows teens to follow organizations and causes that they believe in. It makes them feel like they are part of something even when they feel like an outcast in society. This point shows that teens want to be more involved about what happens around in the world, and they want to make the world better. But sometimes they feel awkward going to people in person. So writing down their opinions on social media helps them write their opinion, but it could be anonymous. So social media is one of the best outlets to reach minds of young people in the best way possible.
Next, opposition.
So I'm going to be talking about unhealthy sleep patterns. On top of increased rates of anxiety and depression, spending too much time on social media can lead to poor sleep. Numerous studies have shown the increased use of social media has a negative effect on the sleep quality. And if you feel like your sleep pattern have become irregular and that is affecting your sleep try and avoid spending a significant amount of time on it.
Proposition.
I feel like social media isn't the only reason for people getting depressed. There are many other reasons other than social media for people like teens to get depressed. And I see that businesses notice the value of social networks in our lives, and they are using different techniques to promote their products through social media. Because social media is an easier way to communicate with people through different cultures and different places worldwide.
Thank you. Last, opposition.
As Rita said, she said that you can be anonymous and really speak your mind, and I feel like that can be a really big issue, and especially in our society, no one really cares about other people's feelings, and they are free to speak all the negative things about a person, and that could really truly affect a person, and they could get a lot of mental illness through social media, and being anonymous is not always a good thing on social media, and yeah.
Thank you. Okay, judges, your call. Any other points?
I think Dia's point and statement was strong. So it's like it was a good statement. I agree with her.
So other teams could just have improved a lot.
Okay. Any other points? Because I agree that Dia's group was able to give me some good points. But is there any other student who gave you a good point? So only Dia. Okay. So for my side, I think other than Dia, I also like Hanin's point. Yes, Hanin, because she was able to give us some research, basing it from research. That's why I'm giving their group 1 point. 1 point Hanin and 1 point Dia. Now, we are going to the rebuttal part. I need 2 speakers per group. Okay, so opposition versus proposition. First, girls, would you like to battle these 2 girls for 5 minutes? So you will battle it out with them. Because you're opposition, yeah? And they're proposition. And then they will battle it out later. Okay. Kisra, 5 minutes. You'll be with them. 5 minutes for them and another 5 minutes. Not now, Amal. Ready? Guys, after 5 minutes, you'll go with them. With battle out with Sarah's group. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, 5 minutes for this rebuttal round. Go.
Going against your team where you say social media is bad for us, I have picked up points from Paris, where she says insane aggressive, and she's going to be aggressive when they leave social media. But I feel not only social media, well, it's just your mindset. I keep saying this many times, but your mindset. If you have a mature mindset, you wouldn't go addicted to it. Example, many different things in social media, drugs, violence, much more. It's not always social media that gets you aggressive and everything. And leaving social media might also be a good thing, but once you're attached to it, you learn new things and get a way better mindset. And anxiety. Anxiety when you see your friends without you on social media. I feel like would hurt you a little bit more when you see them in real life without you. Better you see them on social media, honestly. Because if I see someone without me in person, go and talk to them, it's a way different story.
Vanessa, your group, this is a rebuttal. You can start anytime.
I kind of disagree with you. I mean, I kind of agree with you, but kind of also disagree with you. You said, what was your point again?
Anxiety.
Like you get aggressive when you don't have social media.
She went against
When you say that, I mean, Instagram really sets for you a mindset because you see all these pretty girls online and you're like, oh my god, I should look like them to be pretty.
That's you, that's not social media.
That is for everyone.
Yes, I think you're right. If per se a person with obesity sees a pretty girl on Instagram who has a beautiful body and everything, well, I feel she should learn from it, where she can turn her body physically and mentally better. Like you can take some inspiration, turn the negativity into positivity.
But that is not how pretty is. Like many years ago, pretty was never like pretty was never a standard. Okay, like everyone was pretty, everyone was feeling comfortable in their own bodies. But when social media came around and people had a lot of privileges in their lives and they got things without really working hard towards it, it kind of differs, you know.
And this may end up like for using your parents for money to do some plastic surgeries and others.
Well, that's where social media gets you better time with your family, where you have this conversation how social media turns this into you. Your family makes you understand, which turns this whole story upside down. And then you understand the real values of social media, and your family teaches you why it's not always bad. And social media can give you a better mindset, a better visuality.
I could disagree about that because sometimes when you have problems with your family, Instagram can be a really big issue as well, because you go from life problems to online problems, and that really messes with your brain and you really become in a really unhealthy mental state.
Well, anything of too much is bad. Too much reading, too much studying is bad. Too much social media is bad. Anything that's too much is bad. I feel like in a mature mindset, you should keep everything up to a limit where you understand which is right and wrong.
I know a lot of people who are actually adults really go through this thing, and it doesn't really matter with age, okay? Anyone goes through depression. I know some kids who go through depression, and I know some adults who really go through
Social media is not always social media is not always.
It's your fault at times what you would do and that leads to depression.
This is apparently blaming your own self.
Yeah, so you have to blame yourself because you did
But when you said that
Kisra, time.
when you said that time, I mean, okay, when you said that it really gives you time with your family, it really doesn't. You know, you're always.
No, it's where you can open up to and talk and understand. And because someone said mental illness, social media can let you vent out things, and it's up to your personality where you
But
can
that would be dangerous because you're really giving out information about yourself.
Well, that's
It's not always on social media. It's not always on social media. Yeah, it's not always social media. I can go up to a man in real life, which is way more hurtful than social media.
But like social media, you have the more guts to say it. You got more guts to say it. You have, you're kind of more brave because you're behind the screen. No one can see you do it, and they will not know you did it.
Well, it's a plus one for people with anxiety, you say. It's a plus one for them. I think time's up.
Okay, thank you so much. Girls, decision.
I like Liana's group's point because she talked about unhealthy mental health issues.
Mhm.
So I think that's very convincing. I like her point because it's very convincing.
Anybody else?
So I feel like I'm the only one that has this opinion in the group, but I feel like the teacher had a stronger opinion and point, which I feel like is convincing. She had a point that if you can control yourself, it's your fault that you're giving out the information in the first place. It's not their fault, basically.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, Chanel, would you like to say something?
Next round you have to say that.
Chanel, anything?
Because she took events that are happening outside which the topic making her voice even stronger.
Okay. At this point, I'll be giving 2 points for this group, Vanessa's group, and 1 point for Khadijah's group. Thank you. Okay, next we have 10 minutes, so let's do this fast. 5 minutes, and then the conclusion will just be 1 minute each. Ready? 5 minutes, go.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with social media helping us in education. So what information, like we are all researching now, what information we are
Guys,
all learning about
listen.
now, from Google, from Safari, from whatever browser, we are learning from social media. So from that, we are getting our strong points, we are knowing more, we are getting aware of what's going on around us. Something also that I would like to add is because of national agenda, we would like first class education, right? So for first class education, we also need to know what's going on around our school, not only inside school but outside school, not only in UAE but outside UAE as well. So when we want to know that, we go to Google, we go to whatever web browser, we go to many places, many social media. So that
Girls, this is a rebuttal. You can speak anytime.
Yeah, social media helps us learn things, but you know, there's also a thing called books where you can research in that too. You can go outside.
The majority of the information that comes from the internet is looking from books.
Yeah, came from books, and that people want. You can go in nature. You can find out many things there that you don't need the book for. Yeah, we do need books.
Like that's your point. Social media also helps with news alert distribution. People read the news on Google and they're trying to find what's happening around the world. News outlets happen through Google. They watch TV, everything, social media. Also, another national point, cohesive society. Social media brings people together, knows how to try to help make the world a better place.
Yeah, but people can come together also like normal people out of social media. You can go hang out in the park. Why do you have to necessarily be on social media?
But like, how do they meet together, saying that we should meet at this point? They use social media, saying that we should meet at this, we should discuss it there.
That's true, but also there's a thing called communication. You don't need to communicate on the phone. You can communicate in real life. You're like letters.
Another point to add, how would you communicate if that person is not next to you right at that moment? Your voice is not loud enough to scream to somebody 5 kilometers away from you. That's why you use social media, so you can communicate. so we can come together as a society and so we can achieve our goals.
Okay, so I get it, like you guys are right, but there's some people that are certain people online that are false. What are you gonna do with this?
In my opinion, I feel like now, in this day, in this generation, we know, we have a consciousness that we know that even if a random thing we see online, if we don't find it very persuasive or something, or if we don't find it very real, then I think we have a consciousness in our mind to doubt if it's real or not.
Well, what if, like, in this debate, we're trying to have, like, strong points? Like, as Sir said, that if you can give strong points and to speak, you'll believe it. What if they'll give points that can make you believe it?
Sure, there could be fake points. Like, we're not saying that, but it also, having social media, like, there could be fake points, but what if it was real anyway? Like, what if it was actually real? Imagine someone's asking for help. What if
Some news are not true. Like, for example, there can be a picture posted, right? And it says, for example, this couple split up, right? And then there's gonna go rumors around. And then there's gonna go rumors around in the school and everywhere around. And then it's gonna end up not being true.
Social media helps to
Okay, let's do it reversely. This social media, even if we believe it and it comes out to be false, this teaches us, this helps us to learn that we should not believe everything that we find on social media.
And what if they do spread fake rumors? You can also use social media to go against them, saying no, it's not true.
I have a point here. You said earlier at the end of your point that people can reach their goals and achievements through social media, right? But people before us, back when our parents were still kids, they did not have social media, they did not have phones or anything. They basically used books, and they all achieved their goals.
Well, I never said that without social media you cannot achieve your goals. Social media acts as a motivation, acts as a way that we can learn from ourselves, and that's how we achieve our goals faster, easier, more
10 seconds.
But social media can be a thing where you can lose track of reality.
Okay, time's up. Girls, decision. Decision.
So we feel like both of them have really good points.
Listen.
So we feel like both of them have really good points. Sarah has a good point in communication that social media can help us in communicating with others, and she had a very strong point about that.
Okay.
And then I agree with Kira as well. She has a strong Kira and Paris as well that like in our parents' era we didn't have like social media and stuff, but they still got the work done. So we feel like both of them did a really good job.
Okay, now, I agree with that. However, 2 points to Sarah's group and 1 point to Paris's group. Now, at this point, we have 1 minute each. If we can do it lesser, much better. Final speaker, conclusion. We just have one, because we don't have any. 1 minute for this.
Starts now. Wait, guys, stop. Why does anyone stand? Starts now.
Last best speaker. Okay, ready? Proposition. Proposition.
So my final point is that social media helps us in many ways. There are negative side effects to it, but most of the time, through our awareness and through what we learn through social media and because of other people's learnings, I feel like social media can be used in a good way and strengthen our consciousnesses, and so that we can be better people and we can develop to be the goal and the world that we want to have.
Opposition. Come on, 1 minute. Conclusion.
To close this case, I think social media is misused by people who use it for wrong benefits.
Proposition.
Yeah, so in conclusion, social media can help you express yourself in ways that you can never do in person, but it does have its problems. But I strongly agree that social media helps you. It just gives you goals and it challenges your life. Some people out here
But then again, as what Khadija said earlier, that it can help motivate you to do, like Instagram or for example. But what I feel is that it can also lead to
Let's take
many
a
other.
You're You're not even letting me talk.
It's not a
Okay, yes, it's not a rebuttal. It should be a conclusion.
So, let's say many of you like K-pop, right? You would have never knew even K-pop existed if social media wasn't there. You guys look up to them like they are like really good people. You're idols. And
Okay, Hanin. Kayla, conclusion.
I do. Okay, shush. As a K-pop fan, I do agree with Hanin, but okay, yet again.
Yeah, you lost.
Okay.
Sorry.
Guys, you have the same group tomorrow. Winner for this will be announced tomorrow.
Oh my